I have, is it 9/4/75?
Yes, it is.
September 4th, 1975. Do you have any other name with Henderson?
Yeah, Andrea Dwayne Lennox.
What?
Andrea Lennox?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Linnex.
Your Honor, if I may?
What is that name? Why is there, yeah.
That's, Your Honor, I believe that's his name. Remember, he's charged with false ID.
Okay,
I think
so,
Bush might be the name he was giving.
okay, but then it looks like the charging document is incorrect.
Well,
I'm reading the PC affidavit.
I know, but they can only put the name that he gives.
Oh, okay, has he been charged?
Yes.
Yes,
No.
he has.
It's an unfiled case.
But you have
unfiled charge.
AKAs?
Yes.
Okay, so the correct name is Andrea Linnex. ANDRIEL LINNEX. Thank you, madam. LINNEX, Linux. Okay, what was the last date of activity? Of 20 of this year? And does he have a particular branch? Okay, is there any way to advance that appointment? Okay, because I don't, what exactly is there a diagnosis listed? I'm not gonna repeat it. And Mr. Lennox, have you been getting medicine in the jail?
Yes, I have.
And the medicine has helped you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Yes,
And-
ma'am. It does. It does.
And that's why it's so important to adhere to your treatment plan, correct?
Yes, correct.
So what he was asking for also is, if he could have either some case management or some peer support, something of that nature. It sounds like he needs better support in the community. Sure. Who do you live with?
I have friends and family that I live with.
In one house?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. On my house. Yeah.
Because we don't have an address. You're not showing one? Did you want to, wait, I'll just finish one thing at a time. Because he doesn't have an appointment, Eric and Mishka.
Yes, sir.
According to Henderson, he was last seen at Henderson on February 19th, 2020. But his next appointment isn't until April 30th.
Oh, and they can't move it up.
Yeah, she's trying to do that, yeah.
You're trying to move it up, okay.
Right.
He's at Central Branch, what is that, 27th Avenue?
I think so.
Yeah. How's your mom doing, Mitchka?
She's doing good, thank you.
Oh, good.
I hope Joanne's feeling better.
Yeah, she sounds better.
Good.
Hello? Say it one more time. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you. He didn't want, the last time he was here, he didn't want to engage. Okay, does that mean he didn't want to see he didn't want to keep his appointment? Or he kept his appointment but didn't want additional, he did not show up? He's not showing up. He had not been showing up. So what is it, so do you think it's best for him to go straight back through the walk-in? And just go to the walk-in, right? To kind of get realigned? Okay, fantastic. We'll do that. He'll do that. All right, thanks so much. Take care, be well. Okay, so first of all, sir, it's really important let me kind of realign and reframe this hearing, okay?
Okay, I hear.
I could call you Mr. Lennox?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, ma'am.
Good. You're aware of this coronavirus pandemic, correct?
Yes, I have been aware
Okay.
that it took place. Yeah.
Right. So it's really important that if at all possible, we could move you out of the jail for your health, correct?
Okay. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
Because the whole idea is in order to protect ourselves, there's a few things that we need to do. One is we have to be very cognizant to wash our hands, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
That's
you know
right.
that, right?
Yeah, I does. Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
What else is important that we do? Do you know?
Keep your hands moisturized. You know,
Uh-huh.
where like if you're going in a formal place, put on a mask. So if you got to around like certain places, you could put a mask over your face like a like a disposable mask where they have like they work in they paint at the
Uh-huh.
painting mask. You could have like
How about
the sanitizer.
yeah, the sanitizer liquid, right? And wipe
Yeah.
things down because surface, here's like
Yeah.
this is the sanitizer, right?
Yeah, that's
And
right.
then to wipe surfaces down. Since you've been incarcerated, and I don't know how much news you get, right?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
You might know that now all non-essential businesses, restaurants, everything's closed down. Even this
Okay.
courthouse is largely, closed down except for, essential types of hearings, correct?
Correct.
So self-distancing is really important. Keeping 6 feet apart, not being in crowds, not being
Correct.
next to each other. So that's why we're holding this hearing, because we really want to try to get you out of jail, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
In order for me to do that, this is where I really need you
All right.
to
Yeah.
step up
Okay. I will.
like you've never done maybe before, or maybe you have, and maybe you could remember those times that you have,
Okay.
correct?
I will
Be-
step up.
Because,
I will.
yeah, because, you know, we don't want you incarcerated. We don't want that risk. We want to mitigate that risk, right?
I will.
So I need you to, when you go to Henderson, you really need to engage. What does it mean to engage?
Have a formal with somebody, have good conversation.
Yeah,
Have like friends and community help and talk to people. With
exactly. Exactly. A plus. So even though you're not here in the courtroom, we're engaging, correct?
correct.
You're present, I'm present, your lawyers are present, the state is present, and we're engaging together. I need and you know, I need you to engage with your Henderson helpers. I
I will.
need
So
you to follow your treatment plan, you know, to a T,
I will. So
because it keeps you well. It keeps you well. It will keep you out of trouble because why? You'll be able to think clearly, function, but more than that, you'll be able to make good choices.
I will.
You'll be able to make sound, intelligent choices,
Yeah.
right? Because that's
That's
typically, you know, untreated mental illness, that's typically what leads people into having a problem, and then get a crisis happens or something happens, and then somebody gets arrested. All right. So, having said all that, I'm going to shift back then to Madam. I just would like to hear the priors, if I can. 1 second.
As for burglary of unoccupied conveyance in 2019.
What happened to that case?
That was no info, Your Honor.
Uh-huh.
He received a withhold in 2002 for committing felony battery. There was a 2000 aggravated battery and a strong arm robbery. I don't have the disposition.
How old are you now?
I'm 42, 43.
And did you graduate from high school?
No, I haven't. I was trying, but I didn't graduate.
How far did you go?
10th grade.
Do you
10th.
do you read?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I can read real good.
Excellent.
He does have the two cases, which I believe the attorneys informed the court about, the 1993 case and the 1994 case.
The 1993 case.
Yes. The charge says
1993. But 1993, where were we in 1993? Oh my goodness.
I was in high school.
I was in law school.
1993. Yeah, I think wow. Let's see. Well, Matthew just turned 3. Huh. So, what, so,
that charge, that's still open. He does have a conditional release review on May 1st. I believe I heard Ms. Pavon say that.
what is the underlying charge on that?
Solicit to commit an armed robbery.
I see.
And then I see a 94 case.
Okay.
That looks like a refiled 92 case.
Mishka,
Also,
Yes, Your Honor.
what, the 93 case, is that based on just kind of going, kind of revolving, or for lack of a better word, back and forth between a competency status, an incompetency status, a forensic commit, what, do you know the trajectory?
I think he had been forensically committed, and I think it was finally resolved to NGI. So when they're NGI, they will periodically, come in for statuses, and so they will just continuously do that. So that's why he had his last status in January, and now he's been reset for May.
But but Eric, I think that the thing that's concerning, just a little bit, just to kind of point this out, and I haven't mapped it out, totally, but there's been a series of arrests since 1993.
It would appear so, yes.
Even with the 2002 that pled. So there's some unevenness in the trajectory. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely, Judge.
And I guess that may not be, totally unusual, but one would think they would be tracking this.
Yeah, and Your Honor, and that's why, Your Honor, I understand the situation we find ourselves in, and I understand what he's charged with, and that's why the state at this point in time is not, dead set that, non-monetary release shouldn't be considered. It's just based on everything you stated, the circumstances surrounding this case. We just want to make sure that there's some level.
Well, why can't I could put him on a level? I mean, put him on a level 2.
The only issue with that, Your Honor, and
level.
I'm not saying I have an issue with it. It's just whether he's going to get released or not really comes down to how much information he can provide pre-trial with where he's actually staying.
Correct.
And how stable it is.
They'd have to verify it. Yeah, they'd have to verify
No,
the
of
address.
course they'd have to verify it. How do you balance that risk? And I think the balancing, is important. And if it's not, and just for the record, Mitchka, I don't know that with a history like this, for example, I don't think you're going to get any access, for example, due to risk, from, a level 2 residential treatment program or something like that, because again, they're going to look at the same history that we're looking at.
Right.
Does anybody have any information about the 2019 case? Was that the occupied? What happened?
The recent trespass, Your Honor?
No, the burglary. Which case is that?
That's the 2019, Your Honor, and from my information, that was no info. I don't know if that was then downfiled to the trespass case.
Do you know?
I'm not sure, but
do you know, Eric?
Your Honor, here's the deal. I can get the information for you, but what you'd have to do is let me get off the line for a couple minutes to remote access my computer in the courtroom.
Right.
Call me back, and I should be able to get whatever information you're looking for.
I could do that.
So I'm going to hang up and just give me a few minutes.
Sure.
All right, thank you.
So we're just going to take a little pause.
Okay.
All right.
All right, for a few minutes and let him, look. But I think that the critical thing is the address.
Right. I have the Fort Lauderdale address that's listed on the PC.
So, okay. I saw that. On the PC affidavit, Mitchka.
Yes, Sean.
Yeah. Say it again.
Yeah, it looks like it was just no
simply,
info. It doesn't
just
look like
straight,
it was downfiled.
A straight no info.
Mm-hmm.
Can you print it? Just for whatever context. Um, so Mishka, how often does he go to court? Do you know?
It looks like every 3 or 4 months. His last court date was January 9th, I believe, and then reset to May. They're not put that closely together, so they would be like 3, 4 months apart, maybe a little bit longer.
I'm not familiar with that process.
Right. We don't have too many of those. At least when I was there, 1 or 2, maybe. Occasionally.
Yeah. Eric should be done soon. Thank you.
And I'm printing the 20.
Oh, I have that one. Yeah, I have it at the bench, thanks. Should I try to call him, do you think?
Yes.
Yes? Do you want to, so I should hit the 3 people icon?
Yes. No,
No.
Dial in first. Dial the first one. Put it on speaker.
Well, Mishka's on the line.
Okay, yes. I forgot she was still there. Yes.
Okay,
Hit the 3
1
first.
second.
No, hi, Eric. 954 9954 257 811.
Then do I hit something?
No.
No. Oh,
Now when
then-
it comes up, you hit conference.
got it.
Right.
Hi, Judge.
Hit conference now.
Hi, okay,
Okay.
1 second.
Hello?
Is everybody there?
Yes, I'm here.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I have all the information, Judge. What would you like to know?
Well, I think I was asking about, I think we got most of the criminal history.
Yes.
And the 19 arrest, look, just did not get filed on.
Yeah, and I could advise the court. The reason it wasn't filed was after multiple requests, we never received a sworn victim statement. So
I
by
see.
law, we could not file an information. I'm reviewing the probable cause affidavit. As far as the allegations, it's pretty straightforward. He allegedly entered into a vehicle that he says he believed was abandoned. He took clothing and what turned out to be, it appeared to be a black handgun. It turned out to be a plastic toy handgun. Police were alerted. There was a witness. Police were alerted. And that's pretty much the sum and substance of the allegations, Judge.
Yeah. Well, my feeling is that if everything is going to boil down to whether or not there's a verifiable place to live. Because my special conditions of probation would be, that what level are you looking for, counsel? Because he'd have to go to Henderson, so it would have to be a level 2.
Are you asking me, Judge?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, I wouldn't. I'm not seeking a home lockdown. I would not If the court's inclined to place him on a GPS monitor, we would not be asking for a lockdown.
Right, but because we would want him to make his Henderson appointments,
Absolutely, the state wants that as well.
and
Right, yes.
just adhere to any and all, treatment planning, including taking his medication, right?
Yes.
No alcohol, no intoxicants, uh, random screenings, and no return to that location where the arrest occurred.
The only thing I would ask, Your Honor,
Yeah,
and obviously this wouldn't be part of the GPS monitor because pretrial couldn't put this information for all of them, but unless Mr. Brooks has a specific reason why he would ever need to go to one, we would ask that there be an order that he can't go to any daycare center at this point, in an abundance of caution.
okay.
And I would argue that's too broad for them to ever
Is there any
monitor.
reason for you to go to a daycare center?
No, it ain't. No,
I
no,
mean,
it won't.
There's no
No,
reason
it
for
won't
him.
be.
There's no reason for him to go to a daycare center.
And that's why, Your Honor, I'm not asking for any kind of distance requirement where they would actually have to enter the location for every daycare center. I realize pretrial can't do that. It would be akin to, just having no victim contact. He can't go to any property of a daycare center. And if for some reason he violates that order, obviously he would be eligible. He would be in violation of his release condition.
And I would ask the
Mishka?
court to specify this specific, to stay away from this specific location. I don't see how otherwise pretrial can monitor it. I mean, he could be walking somewhere, and it could happen to be near daycare center without his knowledge.
Well, Your Honor, obviously it would be a knowingly go onto the property of any daycare center. I mean, I suspect that most daycare centers have some type of signage notifying that this is a daycare center. And again, I'm not asking that be a condition of his GPS, because obviously pretrial can't look up every daycare center in Broward.
Okay, so what?
GPS.
Okay, so it's kind of, but I mean, what's the point then if it's outside of the conditions that can't be enforced?
Well, Your Honor, the point is, and I'm not saying this is a situation, but I'm making a comparison. If someone was charged with a sex offense involving a minor, it's very common to order no contact with minors. Well, pretrial can't monitor having no contact with any minors, but it is a release condition.
Yeah,
And if for some reason he violates and gets caught, that he would be putting himself at risk to potentially be held.
I understand. That's a really good example. That's a very good illustration of that. Mishka, I think that, I'm looking again at the probable cause affidavit, and what bothers me about the probable cause affidavit is these allegations, and they are allegations, and yet, the language that was used, I find, is very unusual in terms of the word lurking. I don't think I've seen that language. If I have, it's very rare. Which, and if you look that up in the dictionary, I don't have it in the dictionary, but, obviously the implication, is suspicious, and foreboding, and, maybe I should look it up. But, it's that language that has me concerned, together with the fact that the allegations is that he was asked to leave and refused. Now, again, these are allegations.
Right, and I would only point out he's only been charged, arrested on giving false ID. So they haven't charged him with trespassing or any, loitering or any charge like that.
The definition of lurking: remaining hidden so as to wait in ambush, secondary, present in a latent or barely discernible state, although still presenting a threat.
And Your Honor, if I may.
Yeah.
And that's why the state isn't objecting with what counsel just said. The state's not objecting to non-monetary release. But certainly one of the factors to take into consideration is the underlying facts, regardless of the charge.
No,
And
no,
that's why I think the other-
I hear you. I hear you, and that's why I'm analyzing the totality of the history, and he's got
Of course.
he's got four, and how these things happen, who knows, but there's four different aliases. You have the 1993 case that is still going on, and just the whole totality of everything. Listen, once we get past this emergency, this COVID-19 emergency, he can get before Judge Porth, and, Judge Porth can do whatever Judge Porth chooses to do.
Yes, sure.
Our intention is not to be restrictive. Our intention is to be less restrictive in terms of trying to decarcerate, not to be restrictive, but to do it in a balanced fashion, because nobody has a crystal ball. So that's the story. Those would really be just the conditions, really, the Henderson condition, medications if prescribed, right?
Yes, sure.
He's going to go to the walk-in, because that's the best way, the most efficient way in. That he will be under a level 2 monitoring by pretrial release. But he has to be able to provide verifiable residential address.
Your Honor, if the court,
Yes.
if the court removes Mr. Lennox's bond and imposes a level 2 GPS, and we are unable to make a verification on his behalf, he will then, in essence, be held to no bond. We would then have to bring him back.
You'd have to bring him back.
Okay.
Yeah,
So for right now, it's a
Address that
level 2.
matter.
because of course you'd have to bring him back, but his representation is what? You have an address, you don't have an address. Mr. Lennox.
Right. Mr. Lennox, is the 1626 address in Fort Lauderdale, is that still the correct address for you?
I think yes, it is.
Because we'll have
Yes, it is.
we will have to verify it, sir.
Right.
But
Right.
Wait.
I was gonna try to ask for a program or something like that.
You're not going to get into a program, sir.
Not at this
but I
point,
was
yeah.
this program I was talking about. I was gonna do it like the one on Bravo Boulevard, the
No.
task force program.
No.
Because I can't get it. I tried the other programs and then
You're not going to get into a program. I'm not going to order a program. In the sense that we don't, from a residential treatment vantage point, I don't have any, that's really something that Judge Porth would have to consider. I don't know honestly, Mishka, I don't know any residential treatment program that would be willing to take him on, given this dynamic. I don't.
Right,
Not with
and
that
particularly
93
right now,
case.
yeah.
Not right now. Exactly. Not in these conditions. Not with the 1993 case pending, and all of the other, issues. So it sounds to me now, Eric, that he's kind of backtracking, if you will,
on the address.
on the fact that I don't think he does have a verifiable place to live.
Well, that's
address.
why I brought it up when Your Honor mentioned the GPS, because I got the impression from his response, staying with friends, staying with family, that it wasn't very stable.
Right, because Mr. Lennox, they will have to call and have someone say that, yes, you do reside there, and yes, you can, go back there.
That's why I'm saying I don't have a complete address and phone number like that. I don't have it.
Well, I mean, Mishka, do you want to do some case management work to see? I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
The only place that's accepting anybody right now is First Step, Sober House. But the individual will have to either have someone that can pay for them, or they would have to be able to work to pay
Yeah, he's
for
not
their
working.
residency there.
Okay,
And
so,
they're not considering that so many people have a hard time getting jobs right now. They're not willing to make any decisions right now.
That's why they were saying, they have family members that can help and pay in the
Understood.
interim.
yeah, but I don't
but,
want him
yeah.
out, I don't want him out in the community. Don't you see that?
Understood.
That is not my, that is not the structure, that I want him, to be as as locked down reasonably, as one could be without being locked down. I mean, I don't want him out in the community. I don't know if you want to, reset this, see if Order My Steps has something, but I don't know. I would really want him on pretrial. How is he going to report to pretrial? He's not.
I can report, but I have to find.
If it's GPS with the level 2, they will have to set up when he is to go and meet with his pretrial officer, how often and what the schedule is.
And Your Honor, Ms. Hardy might be able to best answer that. My understanding, Ms. Hardy, if he's on a GPS, is that not as necessary?
He can't. He does. He has to have a home base.
Yes, he has to have a home base.
That's the only way you can use.
No, I know. I'm talking about if you're on a GPS actually reporting the pretrial.
Yes, depending on what his risk level is, they still have to report it.
Got it. Understood.
Right.
So all this time that he was before Judge Porth, or not all this time, but you didn't have a place to live, sir?
I had it. I was at Clearview, and then they had put me independent by myself because I was done with the program. I had the place, 2 places, 3 places other than that.
But isn't Clearview an ALF?
Yeah, but I graduated.
But
I
people.
had graduated, and I had went independent because I was there like 2 or 3 years. So
But people don't graduate from an ALF; they live there.
no, it wasn't it wasn't ALF. It was a program. It was a halfway house. It was a halfway house.
Right.
And I had
Clearview is
graduated.
kind of like Order My Steps.
Right. Well, Mishka, do you want? This is Mishka. If you could find a place,
Right. I know Clearview is accepting people again, so I can call
could I make a
Mitchum.
suggestion? Could I make a
Yeah, sure.
suggestion, Eric? Just so we don't have to, repeat this. I have confidence. I have some confidence that we might be able to find something.
Mm-hmm.
Like a clear view, like something.
Judge, frankly, I'm fine. If you find a place that'll accept him.
So why don't we do it? Why don't we issue the order subject to placement? That
I'm fine with
that
that.
the public Mishka, I don't need another hearing, but if Mishka,
Right.
if you just communicate, with Joanne, communicate with
I'm going to
Eric,
call Clearview now. Yeah, and see if they will consider taking him back.
and if
Is that standard, or you want him?
no, I want them on electronic, and if they say yes, then we go forward with the plan.
Yeah.
Yes, Sean.
Judge, I'm fine with that. To me, whether it's a treatment center or a family member's house, it's just the stability of it. Either way.
It's the placement. It's the roof over his head, correct?
Exactly.
Do you understand, Mr. Lennox?
Yeah, I understand.
We're really
Yes, I do.
trying to, that's the missing piece right now.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to issue that order subject to finding that placement. And, if we have to put him back on a docket for whatever reason, of course, we will. And I understand through speaking
I just wrote GPS.
with Judge Cawthon that, we're just going to be doing the morning sessions. I'm going to be joining Judge Cawthorn in the mornings, just
Okay.
to be there in case there's any mental health people that need to, get get transferred to the mental health court and/or to a hospital.
And
Yes,
Judge,
yes.
your judicial assistant knows how to reach me.
Oh, yes,
if
she
there's-
does. Yes,
Yeah,
she
she does.
does.
So so you guys can provide me anything about this case.
Yes.
You want to have her, you can just let me know.
Absolutely. Mr. Lennox, are you clear with what's happening?
Yeah, yes, I am.
Okay, so Mishka, your lawyer, is going to be doing the case management work. Thank you very much, Mishka. She's so good at that.
Thank
To
you.
find you a placement. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you all.
So, Your Honor,
Oh.
we're removing the bond and he's being released to pretrial with an electronic monitor, correct?
Subject to this verified placement.
Because
And
we
if
won't-
it, if
won't
we,
release him without,
of course.
GPS, right? So,
Yes, that's accurate.
And Judge,
Yes?
because I don't know that it was actually stated when you were stating the condition. So what I would ask, so it's going to be no return to this particular daycare center, and if you want, you can, since it's
And
one
no,
particular
and
location.
no, right. That
You can put a
particular
specific-
one, of course, the place of the
you can put a
arrest.
and you can put a distance with respect to that particular one. Again, I'd be asking the court for a general order of not to enter or go into any property of any daycare centers, and that would not be part of his.
And just stay
monitoring.
away
That
from,
would just be-
yes, and just stay away from, a stay away order from daycare centers,
Thank you, Judge.
generally. Understood, sir?
Yes, that's understood. Yes, I will.
Okay. And
All
then,
right, and I'm going to call Ms. Beecham at Clearview right now.
okay, good. And then, for him to get over to the walk-in center, as soon as assuming he gets out, within, basically within, 3 days of his release.
Okay.
Because there's nothing not stable happening, but he had an appointment, but I just wanted to, I want to advance that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yes.
All right,
Sounds
thank
good,
you all
Judge.
very much. Take care.
Okay,
Judge.
thank you, Your Honor.
Bye.
Uh,
Okay, thank you.